Go back to the shadow. You shall not pass!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 terrifying monsters in Tolkien's Middle-earth.
Werewolves.
For this list, we're looking at the most nightmarish creatures in j.r.r. Tolkien's epic fantasy world. We'll be considering types of monsters rather than monstrous individuals like Morgoth or Sauron. We considered including Oliphaunts, but while they're gray as a mouse, big as a house, have a nose like a snake, and make the earth shake, we don't think they're bad, just made to do bad things. Which of these monsters makes you shiver? Share your fears in the comments. Number 10. Trolls.
They have a cave troll.
Taller and broader than men, trolls are strong and voracious, with a taste for man flesh. According to Treebeard, they were created by the Dark Lord Morgoth in mockery of Ents. There are various types, including hill trolls, stone trolls, cave trolls, and mountain trolls.
I should be salted and grilled with a sprinkle of sage.
That does sound quite nice.
Fortunately, trolls are dull-witted and vulnerable to sunlight, which turns them to stone. However, in the Third Age, Sauron bred a new race, the Olaghai, which was more agile and cunning, and could endure sunlight. While ordinary trolls could be easily outwitted, the Olaghai were much more formidable foes. Number 9. Barrow-wights. Dwelling in burial mounds east of the Shire, these dark, shadowy figures are armed with spells and whisk away those who wander through their barrows. Like the Oathbreakers that Aragorn enlists during the War of the Ring, they belong to the undead.
The dead do not suffer the living to pass.
Their eyes shine with cold, pale light, and their sad, dreary voices murmur songs cursing the life and warmth denied to them. Although their barrows harbor treasure, the risk is really not worth it. You may hear them coming thanks to the clink of rings and rattle of chains, but if they get close, their icy grip is as strong as iron. Number 8. Wargs. Because evil cannot create, the fallen Valar Morgoth and his lieutenant Sauron bred their twisted creatures from the races and animals of Middle-earth. This included werewolves, evil spirits in the shape of wolves. Wargs were also a breed of demonic wolves, and may or may not have been related to werewolves. Swift and ravenous, wargs hunt in packs, preferring the cover of darkness. They're afraid of fire and cannot climb trees. But they're far more clever than regular wolves, communicating in their own tongue and allying with orcs, who use them as mounts. Remember, where the warg howls, there also the orc prowls. Number 7. Orcs.
On the halfling! On the halfling!
The foot soldiers of the enemy. Orcs are vicious and pitiless, taking pleasure in cruelty. Although smaller in stature than men, their powerful frames, fanged mouths, and ferocity make them frightening foes. The origin of orcs is sinister and tragic. They were bred from tortured elves in Morgoth's fortress Utumno. Without leadership, they are cowardly and prone to quarreling between themselves.
Just a mouthful. A bit off the flank.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys!
However, under the command of Morgoth, Sauron, or a powerful chieftain, orcs are relentless enemies. Synonymous with goblins, they prefer darkness, but a later breed, the Uruk-hai, had no such weakness. Number 6. Fell beasts. corrupted creatures of an older world. Fell beasts resemble great carrion birds, but their bodies are featherless and webs of hide stretch between the pinions of their vast wings. A croaking cry and hideous stench announce their arrival. Tolkien's description of them as fell beasts stands in for an official name. In one of his letters, Tolkien acknowledged them as pterodactylic survivors of older geological eras, or in Middle-earth terms, the Elder Days. After the Nazgul are unhorsed, fell beasts replace their lost steeds. Nursed on fell meats, they are the largest winged creatures in the skies, leaving nowhere to hide when the Nazgul are on your trail. Number 5. The Watcher in the Water. Beneath the delvings of dwarves, nameless things older even than Sauron gnaw at the world. Perhaps the Watcher in the Water, which dwelt in a lake beneath the western walls of Moria, was such a creature. Its writhing tentacles search for unwary ankles to drag down into the water. It has so many limbs that when it strikes, the lake seethes, as if a host of pale green luminous snakes are breaching the surface. Presumably, there are others of its kind lurking in remote waters or subterranean chambers. Even the possibility would make a second guess going for a leisurely swim in Middle-earth.
Into the mines! Vegas! Into the cave!
Number 4. Dragons. The scourge of both land and air, dragons, or worms, were bred by Morgoth to support his army of orcs. The first dragons, including the father of dragons, Glaurung, were wingless, but nonetheless devastated elven armies. During the War of Wrath in the First Age, Morgoth unleashed winged dragons, the evil counterparts of the great eagles. In the etymological notes of Tolkien's unpublished work, The Lost Road, there is also a fleeting mention of sea serpents. While fire drakes can breathe fire, cold drakes cannot. But all are cunning, long-lived, and greedy, with a hypnotic power over their enemies.
Smaug, chiefest and greatest of calamities.
You have nice manners for a thief and a liar.
Their only vulnerabilities are their lust for gold and gems, and a soft spot on their chest that their scaly armor does not cover. Number 3. Nazgul. The fangs and claws of bestial monsters fill us with instinctive terror. But there is something even more uncanny and dreadful about monsters in human form. The Nazgul were once mortal men to whom Sauron gifted 9 rings of power. This allowed them to peer into the unseen world, but gradually reduced them to invisible wraiths. Only the gleam of their eyes remains, shining from the depths of black cloaks.
They are the Nazgul, ring wraiths, neither living nor dead. At all times they feel the presence of the ring, drawn to the power of the One. They will never stop hunting you.
Led by their leader, the Witch King of Angmar, the Black Riders leave terror in their wake. In another of his letters, Tolkien described their peril as, quote, almost entirely due to the unreasoning fear which they inspire. But Sauron's most terrible servants also wield swords, knives, and maces with magical properties. Number 2. Giant spiders. In the Elder Days, the evil spirit Ungoliant descended from the darkness around the world and took the shape of a spider. Belching black vapors, she drank the light of the 2 trees of Valinor, growing so large and so powerful that she was almost able to slay Morgoth. In her ravenous hunger, she may have eventually consumed herself, but not before breeding with the spiders of Middle-earth and producing offspring, including Shelob. Bloated and drabbling venom, hunting with many windowed eyes, Shelob haunted the pass of Cirith Ungol, preying on elves, men, and orcs. She also had children, who spread out into Mirkwood. Tolkien wrote giant spiders into The Hobbit to frighten his son Michael, and they remain some of his most memorable monsters. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Balrogs. Cloaked in darkness, Balrogs are demons of fire and terror. Originally, Balrogs were Maiar, spirits like Gandalf and Sauron who helped the Valar shape the world. Corrupted by Morgoth, they became dark figures with hearts of fire, streaming manes, and wings of shadow.
I am the servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udun!
In their hands, they wield swords and whips of flame. The Lord of Balrogs was Gothmog, who mortally wounded renowned elven craftsman, king, and warrior Feanor. After the War of Wrath, the Balrogs fled to the roots of the mountains, where, like the Balrog Durrensbane, they continued to haunt the world's dark, hidden places. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.